Now, as the effects of the pandemic continue, recent statistics suggest that at least 1 million breast cancer screening appointments have been missed since lockdown began in March.
Well, someone who knows all too well the consequences of breast cancer is Elizabeth Hurley, who tragically lost her grandmother to the disease, and she joins us now. Good morning, lovely
Good morning.
to see you. So, you've been the global ambassador of Estee Lauder Company's breast cancer awareness campaign for nearly 28 years. Gone through all sorts of ups and downs, but these new statistics which have just been released are really shocking. 1 million women missed out on breast cancer screening appointments as a result of lockdown. With the impact of coronavirus, its impact on breast cancer, nearly half of women are now less likely to share their breast health concerns. A fifth of women under 45 are unlikely to visit a doctor, even if they noticed a change in their breast. Unprecedented times for you guys and your campaign.
It is. I mean, obviously, the coronavirus has affected everybody. And whilst everybody's been focusing on their health, it's certainly true that women have, unfortunately, put less time into thinking about themselves. This is something that we do experience a lot because, you know, women always put other people first. However, because we know that if a breast cancer is found early, there's a 90% chance of survival if it's localized, it is so important that women still think about themselves, concentrate on their own health. After all, you know, women are the caretakers of the world. If we don't look after ourselves, we won't be there to look after anybody else. So we are really saying to people, please put your breast health first this month, concentrate on yourself.
And for you, this is a personal story as well, because, and we've spoken about this with you before, but your grandmother had breast cancer, and there was very much a stigma attached with it then. She didn't talk about it. She found a lump and she didn't feel that she could go and discuss it because she was scared.
That's absolutely right. This was before the Pink Ribbon campaign, before Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This was a time when breast cancer was terrifying and nobody talked about it. When I talk to research scientists now, they say that because of campaigns like the Estee Lauder Company's breast cancer campaign, people now know about early detection. And they said it's very rare that somebody comes to them with a tumour that is very progressed because it's caught early. And that's why the recent news that women are now not going to the doctor if they find something they're scared about, they're not self-checking. It's very frightening and it's going backwards. So we have this wonderful thing on the 21st of October where anyone can tune in to something that myself and Dr. Zoe are doing, where we're doing the biggest self-check, breast self-check online that everybody can watch, tune in and learn how to check their own breasts. It's on the 21st of October and we'd love everybody to join in and have a lesson because it's really, really important to familiarise yourself with your own breasts so you can see if there's a change.
We'll put all the details on our app
absolutely.
For you and for Dr. Zoe and for everyone who wants to get involved. When Evelyn Lauder approached you to be a global ambassador, that was forward thinking on her part as well, wasn't it? Because that was still at that time when breast cancer was still something of a whispered conversation.
That's absolutely right. She was way ahead of her time. And she said, Elizabeth, women all over the world are dying of breast cancer and no one is talking about it. She just co-invented the Pink Ribbon and they'd started Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it's certainly true that before that time, nobody talked about it. There was no way I would have been sitting on your TV show 25 years ago talking about breast cancer. There's no way there'd have been online forums for people to learn how to self-check. It's all happened in the last, and it sounds like a long time, quarter of a century. Young people have no idea that there was a life before the Pink Ribbon, but I remember it only too well because of my grandmother's history, where she didn't tell anyone she'd found a lump. She was terrified, like so many women around her. And I'm just so grateful that I've been part of something which is making that change. And that's why it is so frightening to see this new statistic. We have to stay on course and we have to unite. It's time to unite for everybody because, you know, we need to save lives.
And also, you're really big on the fact that there's no point in just checking once. You have to keep doing that. You have to know your breast and you have to regularly check. And you go for screenings all the time. It's part of your sort of annual checkup.
It is. I have a mammogram every year. My first one was given to me by Evelyn Lauder for my 40th birthday. But it's also really important. We're told that girls from puberty should learn how to check their breasts. Perhaps a doctor can show them for the first time because everybody's breasts are individual and only really you can see if there's a difference, can feel if there's a difference. You might not feel a lump, but they might just feel different. And many people I've spoken to who've been diagnosed pre-40, because before 40 you can't have mammograms because the breast tissue is too dense, they themselves have noticed changes in their breasts, and they've gone to the doctor and then they've done an ultrasound or whatever they need to do. So it is vital that you're familiar with your own breasts, and you have to persuade your friends and family to do the same.
What do you say to women who would say to you, I'm too scared to go?
I would say that it's more scary to be diagnosed with breast cancer, especially late stage, than it is to check your own breasts and to go for regular checkups with your doctor.
Well, look, we'll put all the details of the campaign, It's Time to Unite, on our app as well. Just wanted to ask you how things have been for you, really, because the lockdown this year has been a crazy one for all of us. How was your lockdown? Did you manage to work?
Well, not during the actual lockdown. Of course, I didn't work. I was at home. I was host to 9 people. We were in our own lockdown bubble. Wow. And it was an intense experience. We tried to make the best of it. We united as a family. We did old-fashioned things like all sat down every evening and watched TV together. We worked in the garden together. We cooked together. All that was great. Of course, it was very frustrating, and I was very worried because my mother and her sister were staying with me. They're both elderly, they were both vulnerable. And I had 2 other friends who have health risks who were also very vulnerable. Once lockdown was over, I was lucky enough to go to York and shoot a movie, which was completely unexpected. We were in a safe bubble, all the crew wore masks, we were tested every week, we had our temperature taken every day. It was a very odd way to make a movie, but it worked, and we made that movie. And that was a miracle that, you know, the actors and the crew members had some work, because none of us had really expected to work at all in 2020.
Is that Father Christmas is Back?
That's Father Christmas is Back, with John Cleese and Kelsey Grammer and a great ensemble cast. And it was a very unifying experience to sort of battle through and you know, get the movie made. We weren't shut down. Nobody got ill. We were all extremely careful. And, you know, it was fantastic that we got that done.
And a new Christmas movie, which absolutely delights me. I think I've seen all of them 50,000 times, so to get a new one, I'm really looking forward to that. Just wanted to mention your son as well. You must be so proud of him with where his career is going. And I know he's just got the campaign, Pat McGrath's makeup campaign, and you two are incredibly close. I mean, you must be a very proud mum.
I am a proud mum. I was particularly proud of how he handled himself during lockdown. It was a tough time for teens, especially if, like him, they'd been part of the A-levelers, you know, who had their exams cancelled, were kicked out of school, couldn't say goodbye to any of their friends, couldn't say goodbye to their teachers, couldn't graduate. It was a tough time, and he took it really, really well, along with, I'm sure, most of his friends. But it was tough, and it's tough now, you know, stepping out into the world, which is such a different world to any world that we all stepped out in when we were 18. But, you know, gradually the fashion industry is picking up, other industries are picking up. You know, it's going to be okay. But it's tough times for everybody.
Elizabeth, thank you. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Holly. Thank you for having me.
Time to Unite, 21st of October. That's that big virtual event that Elizabeth was talking about, and we'll put all the details on our app.